Yeah, that's saying that it started recording.
Cool, man. And thanks for being on this one. Obviously, we had you on your podcast earlier in this week for the people, but for us, it's just right after each other. So this is the first time I've had somebody on doing a watch along with me. We're going to be doing John Cena versus Jesus, whatever you call him, we don't know. And it's for the street fight for the United States Championship. This
I
match
don't
was...
think it's for the yeah, it's
It is, yeah. So this was Armageddon 2004. I put the link in the description below so the people who are watching can load it up and watch along with us. If you don't want to click the link, go onto WWE Network, type in John Cena versus Jesus, whatever you want to call them, and I'll go to WWE Armageddon 2004 and go to the John Cena match, and you'll be able to get it here. So I'm joined again with Lone Wolf. If you would like to introduce yourself.
yeah. This is Lone Wolf's Corner, and me. Hello.
Alexis, thanks for being on. This coming into this one, this was I know this is one of your favourite ones. So this is when John Cena got stabbed on the way into this match,
Yeah.
wasn't
So,
it? This is
what happened is Jesus stabbed John Cena in the nightclub. That was the story, and then this John Cena basically like it breaks off of him. What I very much enjoyed as a kid. My first ever match was. I ever watched, and this is what made me fall in love with wrestling. I hope everyone really enjoys it.
Man, I think it's a cool match with like a unusual story, like a really real story. Like you're going into it as somebody's been stabbed. Like it's a real story that. And John Cena sold it like he had the makeup on and stuff like that as well. I remember that because I was like, like this is.
And it was in like the Doctor Thugonomics like mode as well, so like, it made you think it like like a proper street geezer, you know what I mean? You're like, okay, he's don't play about like that. Before we start, did you ever listen to John Cena's album, his rap album? What he meant?
Man, I've got his rap album in my cupboard. I bought it when I was.
So good. I still listen to it in the gym. It gets me pumped.
Man, you're the only person that I've ever heard of that still listens to it. I've actually got the album with the disc and stuff like that in there. Aye, it's good. It actually is pretty good. It's no taking a piss at it. It's really good.
Like yeah, like he did it with his cousin Trademark as well, but like his actual songs and the lyrics and the meaning on them to say like he's not a professional rapper, like it hits even harder now, like as a rap fan and as you get older, like you actually realize that the man could spit.
Definitely, man. I always thought it was pretty good. I know a lot of people hated it, but I liked it. So let's get into the match, man. So I'm going to hit play. You want to hit play at your end, and then we can just chat shit through it. So I'm going to hit play just now. Okay, well, just at the start of the link below, which is just before Jesus, whatever we want to call them, goes into the ring. This Armageddon had an amazing main event as well. People want to watch on after we've done this, which is Taker, JBL, Eddie Guerrero, and Booker T, I think it is. Fantastic main event.
Yeah, well, great pay-per-view. What did you think of Carlito?
Man, I always loved Carlito. I thought he was, by the end, before he left, he wasn't really doing anything apart from that tag team. But back then, I always loved him. I thought he just was such a cool heel character, and the Apple was always fun to watch.
You can't see how John Cena's just really wanting to beat the brakes off of this guy. This is what I loved. Like that was hideous. I was thinking, oh, this was real, and you can't imagine like seeing this for the first time, seeing the story behind it, and now you seeing John Cena welling him up. Like, oh, I was so invested.
Yeah, man, like the intensity that Cena's shown here as well. You're like, this guy just wants to get his hands on him and beat him up for what he done to him.
That's what made it feel so real as well back then.
I think as well that's what's missing from today's wrestling. There's nothing that you can really. It's not bringing anything to it.
Like you can tell that person is taking it because he's not even so the kendo stick, like it's not even affecting him.
And for most people, they might have not even that are watching this might not even remember before John Cena was the champion and he was going for the US belt, which is weird compared to where he is now.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was Stephanie who told him to do the Dr. Thugonomics gimmick after she heard him rapping on the cover.
And what did you prefer spinner wise? Did you prefer the WWE Championship spinner or the US title?
The US, I remember I got it for Christmas once and I was so happy. Like the US one was just so cool. I like the WWE spinner belt, but
I think the US one, like you says, was just so much more cooler. I think because it was more unique as well, because it was like a big, massive part of it was spinning and stuff like that. It just seemed so much more cool.
Yeah, it is. I didn't really like Edge's weight at all.
No, I did. I went off the. By that time, I was just like, ah, this is just the John Cena belt, really. Loving these punches that Cena's given. Got to just call him Jesus, just in case people think it's Jesus.
It was so interesting just seeing this for the first time. And I love how Carlito's just not wanting to face him and you know, that's what Jesus was when he was like Carlito's bodyguard basically.
Yeah, man, I love how Cena's got like the bandage on there, and then I think it was like the bandage came off, and either here or the SmackDown after, and he had like the scar makeup on, and he had it for ages. And
So good. I miss bloody matches as well.
man, the one that Cena has with is it JBL? It's just
Yeah, the last man standing match.
he's gushing, and it's like when the blood means something, it is good to use, but then like now it just kind of.
I watched that Judgment Day recently. The main event was a lot better than I remembered it from the kid. But this is again what I think WWE misses as well, like how raw and how raw it is. Like you know exactly why he's beating the brakes off him. Like you feel it for him as well. And you want him to. That's the thing. Like you want him to break off the guy.
Man, as well, like it's real, isn't it? Like it's just a guy wanted to beat the shit out of another guy who done something bad to him. A simple story, but it
Yeah.
makes sense. That's what happens in real life as well. People don't like people, so somebody will argue with somebody. This is obviously just turning it right up within a wrestling sense of it. But I think that's just something that WWE's missing at the minute, and it's obviously because of the shareholders, garnish to kids, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I always thought Cena was cool here, like because he was a good guy, obviously here, but he just had like a attitude, like a chip on his shoulder, wanting to go after people and win.
That's what I loved about him though. That's what like made me fall in love with John Cena as a kid. Just like I used to get bullied as a kid. I used to like wrestling, but like I used to watch people like John Cena like doing this to like their enemies, and, like the people try to pick on them, and it used to motivate. That's what I love about it. I gives you that sense in real life.
And definitely, I think he's obviously back when I was younger, it was cool to hate John Cena. When I was like 15, 16, it was always cool to hate that John Cena character. But that's what he was there for. I think he's so cool. Like I love going back and watching these matches to this day. And it was one of those like you love to hate him, but I had the CD. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like I hated him. It was just like it was one of the cool things to do when you were like a teenager.
When I first started watching it, well, literally just basically just started like with Dr. Thugonomics. That's what I love. I love rap music. I love like the music part and the rap promo. And then as he like turned into the big face, that's when I faded out a bit of it. And that's when everyone turned. So I remember when I started watching wrestling again, and everyone would bring John Cena. I was like, what? I was so confused. I didn't watch it for a while, and I had to read, and I was like, right, that's why the booing. But I just can't hate the guy. Like, he gave me so many good memories. Like, I had a cardboard cutout of him once for Christmas, right? And my dad put it up in the went into the kitchen at night to get a drink, right? And all he saw was this big 6-foot cardboard cutout, and he went to punch it. He thought it was a burglar, and he realised it's the John Cena cardboard cutout what he bought into business.
My best story with John Cena is I had a signed photo of him. And there was this girl that I was in school with, and she loved John Cena. Like, she was like a wrestling fan, but wasn't really a wrestling fan. She loved John Cena, right? So I gave her the photo, and that was one of my early moments to experience the opposite sex, and that I'll never forget that. It's always always a moment in my brain, just because it was like a John Cena sign thing that caused that.
Over to the girl.
I always loved when they called it, instead of the attitude adjustment, it was the FU. It just
and the SPFU.
it just sounded better as well. Like it, I don't know.
Well, like the John Cena character as well, like guy, just like that, beat the brakes off him. That's what I like. You know, like wow, he's revenge. Look at him, the champion. Then I was seeing the belt for the first time. All of this, and I woke up.
So that's the match finished. If everybody doesn't know yet who's watching along with it, that's the spinner belt that we were talking about, which is just a fantastic belt. And then, obviously Cena's getting his hands on Carlito, and I think they go to face each other. Is it at the Rumble or?
Yeah, after this, the first feud took quite a while to be fair. They were feuding for a bit. It's a great feud to go back and watch. To be fair, I think it's one of John Cena's best. I definitely think it's top 5. What is like his introduction, and I think it's one of the most historic ones that he's got as well. To be fair,
I would say at this time as well, man, Cena was just putting in insane amounts of work. Like, even his stuff with Big Show at WrestleMania 20 was fantastic. Like, everything he was doing was great, and it's cool that people obviously will see it from this was 18 years ago or whatever it was. It's cool to go back and look at it now and be like, right, John Cena was actually pretty cool. And I'm coming back just at SummerSlam there was cool to see people cheer for him, because I remember from when he was cool to when he went nobody liked him, to when he was cool again, then nobody liked him. It was like a cycle. But I've always enjoyed Cena. I even liked his stuff against ECW One Night Stand when it was him and RVD. And then then Cena against Sabu was one that I always preferred. I always liked that as well. Was it Vengeance 2006? I think it is. It's a fantastic wee match.
What a guy! I remember interviewing Sabu. Yes, Sabu, okay, I love that guy.
Man, he's been on this show as well, and it's just he's still a cool. He's just a cool guy. That's it, man. But thanks for being on. Thanks for doing the watch along. This is everybody should go check you out. You've done the podcast and the watch along, so that's a double endorsement. Go go check you. And what I'll do is I'll end this here, and I'll let you know when it's going to go up and stuff after it.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching.